Blog Talk Radio.
President recognizes Mr. Adams of Massachusetts.
Objects of the most stupendous magnitude. Measures which will affect the lives of millions, born and unborn, are now before us. We must expect a great expense of blood to obtain them. But we must always remember that a free constitution of civil government cannot be purchased at too dear a rate, as there is nothing on this side of Jerusalem of greater importance to mankind. My worthy colleague from Pennsylvania has spoken with great ingenuity and eloquence. He has given you a grim prognostication of our national future, but where he foresees apocalypse, I see hope. I see a new nation ready to take its place in the world. Not an empire, but a republic. And a republic of laws, not men. Gentlemen, we are in the very midst of revolution. The most complete, unexpected, and remarkable of any in the history of the world. How few of the human race have ever had an opportunity of choosing a system of government for themselves and their children. I am not without apprehensions, gentlemen. But the end we have in sight is more than worth all the means. I believe, sirs, that the hour has come. My judgment approves this measure, and my whole heart is in it. All that I have, all that I am, and all that I hope in this life, I am now ready to stake upon it. While I live, let me have a country. A free country.
Okay, everybody, Joseph Gibson broadcasting from Greensboro, North Carolina here tonight. We'll be live in about two and a half minutes, and then I'll take callers. But I've got some calls here I want to make tonight. We're going to call some Muslim mosques. We're going to call Senator Omar's district there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, speak to some small business owners out there, and trust me, you'll love this platform. And we'll take callers live, of course, as we always do, live callers 100% after my short intro here. So give me about two minutes or so, and we'll go live from Greensboro, North Carolina, on blogtalkradio.com/Joseph Gibson. Join the chat room. No rules in the chat room as always. You can talk about whatever you want, especially the idiots out there. Do whatever you want. But let's see here. Okay, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We'll go live.
Renewed hostile actions against United States ships on the high seas and the Gulf of Tonkin have today required me to order the military forces of the United States to take action in reply.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
Senator Kennedy has been shot. Is that possible? He still has the gun. The gun is pointed at me right at this moment. Take a hold of his thumb and break it if you have to. We want to run a an explosion, and we are defending immediately. Let's try our best.
People
people calling themselves members of the Weather Underground last night planted bombs in federal office buildings in Washington and Oakland, California.
They took the babies out of incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
Survivors of the USS Liberty are demanding a congressional investigation into what happened, an acknowledgement that the Israeli Air Force bombed a U.S. intelligence Navy ship.
The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat al-Qaeda.
The Taliban is taking responsibility for shooting down a U.S. helicopter. More than 30 people were killed, and there are reports this morning that most of them are U.S. Navy SEALs.
There may be a false flag incident where some ship goes down and be used for the excuse to accelerate the next war.
And if there's one thing that has unified Democrats and Republicans, and everybody in between, is that we all hated the bank bailout.
The Department of Homeland Security is apparently on a huge ammo buying spree.
It comes out to like 1.6 billion rounds of ammunition.
Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people.
They estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill.
I'm here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
From the front lines of the information war.
That's right, from the front lines of the information war. Joseph Gibson broadcasting on understanding the times in which you live in today. Before I carry on here, I want to say hello to some people who may be tuning in, a couple of people that I've been in contact with on social media. I know a couple of them are my liberal friends there, and they say I don't see reality, so therefore they can't come on my podcast. Well, you're going to get a dose of reality, trust me, real soon. And the New World Order is approaching, and you're going to get a dose of real reality. Okay, and then I want to say hello to some other people that have been contacting me. A person I spoke to on social media from Lexington, North Carolina. I'm not going to give out any names unless they call in. I don't want to do that to that individual, but they're dealing with a landlord-tenant situation there where the landlord just wants to throw them out of their home, and they're on a week-to-week lease deal. And I did some research on North Carolina eviction laws. And apparently this individual is a good old-fashioned Southern Bible-believing Christian that goes to church on Sunday and screws them on Monday. Okay? So I'll call that person live. I'll call anybody live. I've proven that before. I called the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve threatened me, told me they're going to deal with me. I'm still waiting. So anyway, tonight is Sunday night, and there's no guests scheduled here tonight. So, therefore, the phone lines are open for you could talk about whatever you want to talk about. Hopefully you use this platform wisely. And don't be attacking me. And I'm not even paying attention to the chat room. Let me click in the chat room and see what we got going on here. Oh, Long Feather's in the chat room. Yeah, I'm going to find out more. Yeah, okay, whatever, Long Feather. You know, you're just an idiot. You're an internet troll that has no voice of reasoning whatsoever. And let's see. Hello, Real American One. Good evening to you also, Carson Wentz, and several guests in the chat room. I appreciate it. Truth Seeker was in there for a little while, but they ran away, and maybe they got a message or had to take a selfie on their dumb phone. Who knows? And then I had some other people. So, yeah, whatever. You know, LMR campaign office. Yeah, I got your private messages there. But what I really want to do is, before I start calling people, I want to set up the platform where I promised Mandela Khan a voice here for a few minutes. He wants to talk. He's on the phone line already waiting. And then I'm going to start calling Miss Omar, this Muslim woman who feels that, you know, wants to attack our veterans, attack Navy SEALs, and basically is there as a coward, a congresswoman that is a coward. Shame on her. And I'm going to call these people here as soon as I let Mandela Khan do something real quick. He wants to come on, and he'll be on throughout the show, but then I'll start calling these people live. And if you want to have a voice here tonight after I start calling these people live, and trust me, I've got a platform already scripted out here, and I know what questions to ask these people. I've called these phone numbers already, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some live voices here. So, but first, Mandela-Khan requested to come on and do a commercial here, and he's a supporter of the platform, so I'm going to let him speak for about three minutes, and then I'm going to start calling people live, and then we'll reopen the phone lines, and you can talk about whatever you want. And trust me, this show we're not CNN, we're not Fox News, we're not the History Channel that brainwashes you and tells you lies. We're here to expose the New World Order, expose phony Christians out there, phony Muslims. We're here to expose the New World Order. And I am live, 100% live, to Longfeather or anyone else who says I'm pre-recorded. Obviously, I am live because I'm going to take a live caller right now, and he can speak for 3 to 4 minutes while I get my phone numbers here in order, and we're going to contact these people live and watch the dumbed-down responses I will get, because that's what I do here on Understanding the Times in which we live in today. We must understand the times in which we live in today. If we don't understand the times in which we live in today, how the hell can we plan for tomorrow? You know, we must examine the truth of yesterday to understand the times in which we live in today, and therefore we could look forward to tomorrow. And tomorrow could be a greater day if people would use this platform for a more positive influence on others out there. And trust me, we have thousands of people that are listening via the internet right now. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they are listening. So use your words wisely when I connect you live. I don't screen callers. I don't censor you. It's free to call into this show. It's free to use the chat room. And I want to say hello to God's Rainbow Ministries. Hopefully he's paying attention here tonight. He promised me he was going to call in. I don't know where he is, but maybe he's busy. So I'm going to bring Mandela-Khan on for about 3 to 4 minutes and let him do his commercial. He requested that privately through Facebook to me, and I'm a man of my word. So I'm going to bring him on, and then we'll start calling people like we always do on this podcast show. And it's not scripted. We're totally unscripted. We're not your fake news. We're not Dana Perino on Fox and Friends or the Fabulous Five there at 5 o'clock where they got a script they're reading from, and or like Mr. Schultz, the town hall meeting where every person that sat up and asked them a question, they were reading from a cue card, and because look, folks, they were told what to ask. If I was there, they would not allow me to ask a question, trust me, because my first question would be, how do you feel about the Federal Reserve and the central banking cartel that controls our monetary system? And if elected president of the corporation, what would you do about that to restore sound money? That would be my first question, and I wouldn't dodge around the abortion question either. Do you believe in abortion or not, sir? Do you believe a woman has a choice to murder a child after birth? You know, that would be my question. I don't need to read it from a cue card. But anyway, let's bring on Mandela-Khan here so I can get my numbers here, and then I'll bring on everyone else who wants to call in and have a voice here on understanding the times in which we live in today. Even if you want to attack me, like a lot of you do, you can. So, Mandela-Khan, go ahead. I'm going to bring you on. 3 to 4 minutes. Go ahead. Hello, Mandela-Khan. You're live. All right. I guess he's not there. I don't know. Mandela-Khan, hello. All right. Well, it must be a bad connection. Mandela-Khan, are you there? Area code 302. You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. Hang on. Let me unmute you again. Mandela-Khan, can you hear me?
Joe Gibson.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're live.
Understanding the sign of the times in which we live, Sunday, April 13th, 2019. Isn't this extraordinary, Joe Gibson?
Go ahead, Mandela-Khan. Yeah, I'm listening. You're live. Go ahead. I can hear you fine.
Don't try to urge me on, and don't try to steer me, because we're in understanding the sign of times in which we live in today. April 13th, 2019. And I know that there's a plethora of new callers, not your usual suspects and your private callers or your doctors. You and I both know there's a plethora of new people on the lines who have not pushed one, never pushed one, but I demand that the new callers push one and get in queue. Based on this testimony, understand the sign of the times in which we live in today, to bring us into compliance with live and let live and one love under Nipsey Hussle. And I have to say that because of the Ethiopian Empire, Joe Gibson. And Tyrone Thompson and your minions under Talk Real Solutions, you have no solution. Talk Real Stupid, Talk Real Shitty, you have no solution because of Nipsey Hussle. And Gangland. Eritrea is an extension of the Ethiopian Empire. Equally as important, under the Confederate flag and the red, white, and blue, Tyrone Thompson, the most evil symbol against African and indigenous people on the planet Earth, the United States of America is an extension of the Ethiopian Empire. Just like Nipsey Hussle, his mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, Eritrea is an extension of the Ethiopian Empire. And I can prove, and this has nothing to do with your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or opinions. I know that if you go and do your own research, if you're black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight alike, you will find that the United States of America is West Africa, Ethiopia. Before the Confederate flag, the red, white, and blue flag, before the naming of the United States of America, before the naming of the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, if you do your own research, and I'm not going to do your homework for you, I'm only here to help you remember what you forgot or what you refused to recognize under Nipsey Hussle. Gangland, Crips and Bloods. The United States of America is Ethiopia. Just like Eritrea is an extension of Ethiopia. Now, how can I prove what I'm saying? In 8 days under the war on drugs from Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Memphis, Tennessee, Wilmington, Delaware, Chester, Philadelphia, there has been a few, if any, murders for 8 days. And it's because of Nipsey Hussle, Nipsey Russell. And that's because of the Ethiopian Empire of the matriarch. Ethiopia is a original blueprint for humanity, a woman. Just like California Khalifa, before MS-13, the Mexican Mafia, Queen Khalifa was a live, living woman that gave territory to illegal aliens.
Mandelicon, hang on real quick. Mandelicon, I'm getting some responses in the chat room here. It's April 14th, not April 13th, so they're thinking that the show is not live. So can you correct yourself there, sir?
No, let's correct live and let live in one love.
No, I'm just saying I'm getting criticism in the chat room saying I lied to everybody saying I'm 100% live, and you said it's April 13th. It's April 14th. 7 p.m.
Okay, well, I lied. Not Joe Gibson.
Here in America.
I lied. Not Joe Gibson. I lied. But because of Nipsey Hussle, and here's what I can prove, and Biggie Smalls, Crips and Bloods, East Coast, West Coast, Gangland. For the first time in the United States of America, the gangs in the municipalities of the barrios, the ghettos, under Crips and Bloods, red and blue, red or blue pill, they are in ceasefire. And they are stopping the killing and attempting to heal. Now, when it comes to Biggie Smalls and Tupac, there was no funeral or celebration in the Staples Center. But Nipsey Hussle's was. And then, if I go forward, under gangland and RICO statutes under white power, John Gotti and Carlo Gambino, the leader of the 5 crime families of La Cosa Nostra, Carlo Gambino and John Gotti did not have no funeral in New York in Madison Square Garden. And I can prove what I'm saying. It's extraordinary that Nipsey Hussle, not LeBron Curry or Stephon James, and I scrambled up their names immediately because I know y'all under basketball
Well,
NBA.
Delicon, you think we can get Nipsey Russell onto this program? Who is this? Can you explain Nipsey Russell without talking about LeBron James and everyone else? Explain Nipsey, because I'm getting a lot of questions
Let me
here.
explain
Who is
this.
Nipsey Russell?
Nipsey Russell was a comedian under this thing called Comedy View. Nipsey Russell, all 40 people and older, they know about Nipsey Russell, whether they're black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight, alike. But they don't know about Nipsey Hussle. I didn't know a goddamn thing about Nipsey Hussle 8 days ago. But for all you young people, Nipsey Hussle and the gangs in America, they formed a ceasefire, a truce, to stop the killing and start healing, not under Nipsey Russell. Under Nipsey Russell, everybody over 40, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, they know he was a comedian under white power, but not Nipsey Russell, but under Nipsey Hussle. The matriarch comes under a trio.
All right, hey, Mendelicon, I'm going to bring you back on here, but I'm getting
you don't have to bring you on, but here's what I want you to do.
Give one more minute to explain Nipsey Russell and Hussle, please.
Okay, you can take on some new callers, but if you bring on any of your private callers or your usual suspects, your traditional, typical people who want to just bring up God, the country, and the Bible, I'm going to crush your ass into oblivion. Not me, but the new callers. I want the new callers under the matriarch to push one and speak truth to power on behalf of Nipsey Hussle, the greatest funeral that we're outside the United States of America, from the Maine to Florida, Washington State to California, from the UK to the University of Kentucky. The greatest funeral ever was in a procession was because of Nipsey Hussle, the Eritrean prince, the extension of Ethiopia, and the United States of America.
I'm trying to educate myself on Nipsey Hussle. Russell. I'm trying to educate myself on that, and that's what I'm asking because people are asking questions. Who is Nipsey Russell or Hussle or whatever her name is? Can you educate us that before I get to another caller?
Nipsey Hussle is the Eritrean prince that can overcome what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, what Tupac and Biggie couldn't do, because all the gangs in the United States of America, from Maine to Florida, Washington State, has declared a ceasefire that's holding for 8 days. I don't care what C-SPAN or CNN.
Okay. Well, let's touch upon that because last time I checked, Chicago had 3 murders as of yesterday, and they were gang related. So, we
that's
can
a
get into
beautiful
that
thing.
a little bit more, but that's that. I don't know. Well, like I said, the gangs are continuing to deal their drugs.
Okay,
and do what
now
they
I want you to tell me,
girls and shoot little boys.
Out of all the
and
fools,
even in the black community or Ethiopian community, they're killing each other. And in Ethiopia, they're killing each other too.
Joe, I want you to tell me
Uganda
this.
Also.
Okay, Joe. Okay, Joe. I want you to tell me this. In your documentation, I don't care what old you are, has there ever been an ancestor, a live and in living color person that had a funeral in a coliseum, from Carlo Gambino, John Gotti?
Well, actually, yes. In Texas Stadium, AT&T Stadium, I can bring up veterans that were killed. Chris Kyle was
No, Joe Gibson.
Stadium. So what are you talking about?
a single individual. Has there ever?
Well, he
and
is
I'm
a
telling
single
you,
individual.
there has never been a single individual that came from the ground up, not race, but class. There has never been a single individual. The Staples Center, LeBron James and Stephen Curry, the NBA, there's never been in the Madison Square Garden. There's never been a common
All right,
person.
Mendelicon, you asked me to take on other callers. That's what I'll do. So just think about what you're going to say later on in the program here, okay? I brought you on like I promised. I'm going to get to another
Absolutely.
caller, and then I'm going to start making live calls
much.
here to this Congresswoman Omar's district. Okay, so and then we'll open up the platform. So I'll take another caller that's been waiting for a while. 210, see what they have to say. Live platform here tonight, 657-383-0616. Mendelicon, just stay on hold. You know I'll get back to you. So 210, let's see what you got to say. 210, go ahead. You're live, unmuted.
Hello.
Can barely hear you, sir.
I'm the real motherfucker. God damn it.
All right, okay, that's it. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone after that. You're muted. All right, let me carry on with the program. You see, you didn't offer anything interesting. You started damning God and talking foul, and I'm not going to allow that. Now, I'll give you one more chance to speak, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to mute you, all right? We're not going to tolerate that nonsense. If that's what you want to use this platform for, I mean, come on, man. You know, give it a break. I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to give you 45 seconds to make your point directly to me and to all the other listeners out there that are listening. So I'm going to unmute you one more time, and we'll see what you have to say. Go ahead.
That's funny word, you two-gas motherfucker.
Okay, all right. You're all right. Goodbye. Get lost. Just hang up and go away. You're not getting a voice on this platform, okay? You're not. All right. Okay, let me do what I said I was originally going to do here. Let's call, I've already got this lined up here, so let's call, because, this Congresswoman Omar, and then I'm going to call a Muslim mosque in Minnesota, actually, also. I've got their number here, and we're going to call these people, go away, 210, hang up, get lost. Go play in traffic. Go do that. Oh, did I threaten him? Oh, is he offended? I don't care. I really don't care. Okay? All right, let's see here. All right, there's a number here. And then I got another number that was sent to me in the chat room, and I'll call that number. It'll most likely probably be a crank call, but I'll give it a shot. I try to give everyone one chance. All right, we're calling a business in Minneapolis, and I've got some questions for them about their district and their Congresswoman Omar. That's been on the corporate news, and I just want to know the facts. I want to know if it's true or not. And so we'll see what we get here. This is a business here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So let's call them live and see what we get here. I thought they broke on. I could be wrong. You got to remember it's a Sunday evening. I've got several other numbers here to call. I thought this is a number that I did call.
Thank you for calling the Capitol Grill, Minneapolis. This is Ben. How may I assist you?
Yes, Ben. How you doing? I'm thinking about visiting Minneapolis there, your grill. But I was just wondering, Minneapolis has been in the news a lot because it is your representative there, your Congresswoman Omar. Does your business support this Congresswoman and her anti-Semitic views that have been broadcasted through the media? Hello? Hello? Okay, we'll mute you. You can put me on hold. All right, we'll call him back. All right, he hung up. That's fine. That's fine. He can hang up on me all he wants. Let's see here. Let's call him back. And now I'm going to do a different approach.
Good evening. Thank you for calling the Capitol Grill, Minneapolis. This is Ben. How may I assist you?
Yes, Ben, you just hung up on me. I was trying to ask you a question, and you hung
I
up
did.
on me.
We are a Fortune 500 company, and we have no statement. We are a publicly traded company.
Do you have a supervisor or available by any chance who could take my call? Because you're live on Blog Talk Radio right now. So do you have a supervisor who could answer my question? All right. He has no statements. Hello? Hello? All right, we'll mute you. All right, well, maybe you have no statements. I didn't ask you for a statement. I was just asking you a question. All right, he hung up on me. All right, let's call a Muslim. Look, I got many numbers here to call, and we're gonna call these people. And I called him twice, so we'll leave it at that. And the grill there in Minneapolis. And those of, let's see here, let's try another one. Let's try another business there in Minneapolis. I just want to know what kind of district I'll be visiting because I want to go to Minneapolis and I want to know this district here. So let me try a different approach this time, okay? Let's see. All right, let's call these people. Here we go.
Thank you for calling Chicken Ramen. How may I help you?
Hey, how
Hello?
you doing? I'm calling. Who am I speaking to, please?
Pardon me?
Hello?
Hello, can you help me?
Yes, who am I
Hello?
speaking to, please? Yes, hello?
Hello?
Who am I speaking to, please?
Which
Hello?
moment? Hello, which moment? 就说你听他干嘛
Yeah, speaking.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello? For the fourth time. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm reaching Minneapolis, Minnesota, correct?
This is the simple location.
Yes. What's the name of your business, ma'am?
Ichido Ramen?
Okay. I was just wondering in Minneapolis there, I'm curious. I'm calling from North Carolina, and I'm thinking about coming out to Minneapolis. And I was just wondering, but I'm a little bit worried because you have a congresswoman that represents your district in Minneapolis that makes a lot of anti-Semitic remarks. And I was just wondering how you felt about that.
Would you call back the other time? Hello?
You want me to call back?
Yeah,
you want me to
because
call back?
our manager is not here right now, so.
There's no managers there right now? You live in Minneapolis, correct?
The Highland Parkway.
Yeah. Did you vote during the midterms? Did you, by any chance?
No, I don't know about that.
You don't know if you voted or not?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Congresswoman Omar in your district? Do you support her, or are you against the things that she said about Jewish and the country of Israel? Do you have an opinion
I don't know.
on that?
Sorry, I'm busy right now. I cannot answer your question.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, you're busy. Yeah, you're all. Yeah, go take a selfie. Okay. All right. She's busy. All right. Let's mute her. Okay, she can hang up too. All right. Well, let's call another business there. She's busy. She doesn't know if she voted or not. I don't know. What do I do? Someone's calling me and asking me a serious question. What do I do? Let me look it up. Let me take a selfie. All right, let's try. We're going to keep going here, right down the line here, until we can get someone who can speak clearly and fluently and may have an opinion on something instead of voicing their opinion on social media. And then I got a Muslim mosque here. I got 3 of them, actually. I'll call them. Well, I'm sure they'd like to talk to me maybe. We'll see. I got some questions for them. All right, let's call this business here.
Thank you for calling Ola Arepa. We are currently open right now. Please select one of the following options from our menu. For business hours and directions, press 1. To place a to-go order for pickup, press 2. For reservations, press 3. To inquire about wait times, press 4. To leave a message for the management team, press 5. To speak to someone in the restaurant now, press 0. Please visit our website, olaarepa.com, to see our menus and additional information. That's spelled HOLAAREPA.com. We thank you in advance for your support and look forward to having you dine with us.
Someone going to pick up?
Thank you for calling Ola Arepa. We are currently open right now.
All right.
Please select one of the following options.
You're not open. All right, there we go. All right, well, that's a voicemail. We get those sometimes. So let's see here. Let's try one more here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This could be a good one. Let's see here. 9850. All right, here we go. We'll keep trying until we get somebody.
Spoon and Stable, this is Amy.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to, please?
This is Amy at Spoon and Stable.
Oh, Amy, how you doing? What's the name of your business there? I'm thinking about coming to Minneapolis, and I was just wondering, what do you got? What's the name of your business?
Spoon and Stable.
Oh, well, I was just worried because Minneapolis, Minnesota is the district of Congresswoman Omar, and I'm very concerned because I'm all the anti-Semitism that comes out of her mouth, and I was just wondering how you felt about that, if you don't mind me asking. All right. Okay, she hung up on me too. We'll call her back. Why she hung up on me, I don't know. I was just asking a question. I don't like being hung up on. At least just tell me, something.
Thank you for calling Spoon and Stable. If you have reached this message, we are either taking care of another...
Now voicemail. We'll leave you on hold, and then we can waste as much time as possible. Okay, someone provided me with a number in the chat room, so we'll try that one. And then I got to call Muslim Mosque. We can do this all night long until we get a hold of somebody. Obviously, Minneapolis does not want to address this issue. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Like I said, I'm not Fox News or CNN. I'm not going to call you and give you a cue card and tell you what to say so we can brainwash the listeners and followers out there. No, we're going to call you live, and this is what happens when you call a business live, whether it's Amazon, eBay, whatever, asking a question about your package or whatever. We've done this many times, and they can hang up on me if they want. That's fine, and we'll continue to call. And I talked to some of these people last night, and they're like, yeah, But as soon as they anyway, let's try this one. Here we go. This is a number that someone provided me in the chat room. This is Omar.
Thanks for calling the saloon. How can I help you?
Who am I speaking to, sir? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, thanks for calling the saloon. How can I help you?
The saloon. Well, I was just wondering what you thought about this Congresswoman Omar and her anti-Semitic remarks. Do you guys support that as a business? Because
she hasn't made any anti-Semitic remarks. Please don't call back here.
She hasn't? No, I will call back up to 3 times according to the law, sir. I'm asking you for a comment. That's what I'm asking you. Okay, yeah, please don't call back here. Yeah, that was a saloon there. Somebody gave me there. And, I will call you. I will call you as much times as I would like to. You're a public business, and I can call you up to 3 times per day. All right? Just like the robocallers, like Amazon calls you, and the marketing schemes that go on. I will call you. All right? Don't call this number anymore. Don't you do that. Well, so what? So obviously... that was another idiot on the phone. All right, let's call a Muslim mosque. All right, let's use a different approach this time. Let's not bring up Congresswoman Omar because obviously everyone, they don't want to talk about it, but they must know what I'm talking about because otherwise they wouldn't be so offended. All right, and I hope I do offend a lot of people out there because that's what we do on understanding the times in which you live in. So let's see here. Let's call this Muslim mosque.
Sunday, Joe Gibson. You will not hear from anyone that will change the reality.
Yeah, I know. It's hard on a Sunday. Hang on. Mandela Khan, hang on. I got to hang on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for calling Abu Bakr As-Siddiq.
All right, hang on. All right, I think I hung up on a couple people here by accident, so I apologize for that. You can't interrupt when I'm making a live call. You can't do that. All right, let's try back this Muslim mosque. You're right, Mandela Khan, though. It's a Sunday. It's hard to get a hold of people, but I did get a hold of some live businesses, obviously, and they don't want to comment. All right, hang on. Let's try this Muslim mosque here. None of them. Nobody ever wants to come onto this show live. Let me tell you, because already know what you're going to get. All right, let's try this one here real quick. They're from Minneapolis, Minnesota, by the way. So we'll see if we can get a hold of somebody. Maybe they're on their magic carpet right now, flying.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you. This is the Islamic Community Center of Minnesota, Masjid al-Iman, located at 1429 2nd Street Northeast, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55413. We would like to wish all of you
memory full.
Well, so much for the Prophet Muhammad. I guess the memory's full, and you can't take even my voicemail. Hello? We'll leave you on the line. Your memory's full. All right. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see here. All right, that call dropped. All right. Let's see here. All right, Mandela Khan's back on the line. Let's see. I still got a 617 number. Let's see if they're still playing the same recording. Hello, 617. You're unmuted.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello? This is Madeline Mitten.
Yeah, hello. I said
Toronto.
that twice.
This is Madeline
Excuse
Mitten.
me?
I'm calling from Madeline Mitten from Toronto. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You're from Toronto. How come you're not calling from an international number? Why you got an area code of 617? But that's fine if you're from Toronto. What's on your mind?
I'm staying at the Parker House Hotel in Boston. I called Tony Gaga. I wanted you to come up and have a threesome with Tony Gaga and me outside a jacuzzi. And you could do the Alaska Pipeline with us. Yeah, because Tony Gaga is, I really want to have sex with you and Tony Gaga.
And that's why you're calling in, because you want to have sex with me and Tony Gaga. That's why you're calling into my live show here tonight from Boston, Massachusetts. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then you can suck Tony Gaga off.
All right, okay. Well, I'm glad you used this radio platform to bring up something so important that is so concerning to you.
Yeah, Tony Gaga
but I do take live callers, and this is what you get, folks, when you take live callers. Yeah.
Yeah, you can come, or you can come up to Toronto because I'm going back to Toronto next week. No.
Okay, well, have a safe trip back to Toronto and go worship your Queen of Canada, okay? Go worship your queen, because we don't need no queen in America. All right? Goodbye, sir. 617. Oh, my Lord. Oh, let me check the chat room. Let me see what people got to say here. Yeah, Real America, you sent me a good number there. Yeah. All right. You have the nerve calling names, Jessica. Yeah, you're right. Joseph, what does the Bible say about homosexuality and adultery? Well, we've been over that many times. Look, there's my friend, God's Rainbow Ministries. Maybe he'll call in tonight. I'll welcome his voice here. Excuse me. if he wants to call in and make a voice here. I know I'm getting some criticism here in the chat room as I'm going down. Birdman1788, thank you. Bringing it to boy. Berta Sable, appreciate it. You guys are welcome to call in while I try contacting some more people from Minneapolis, Minnesota. That would be great if you guys want to call in, 657-383-0616. But before and make your voice heard, what does God say about homosexuality? Look, we could read the Bible all night long here, and like Dr. Peter Ventura said a week ago or a week and a half ago on the show. Look, God hates sin. Very simple, okay? But Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light." Now, we're all sinners. We're all sinners. Simple as that. Whether you like it or not, we're all sinners. We're all, that's what the Bible says. But you are saved once you accept the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, does that mean, there's a lot of theological questions we can get into, but this isn't a Bible show where we're going to get into that. So what I'm going to do is just keep moving down the line here and taking all the callers. And I see Mandela come back on. I see 210 still on here that just called in. I'm going to take them. And then I'm going to continue to contact Minneapolis, Minnesota until I can get someone who has the balls or the guts to talk about the situation there about Congresswoman Omar's anti-Semitic remarks. And I will do that. I will continue to call them. So 210, go ahead. You're live on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, hello, Joseph. It's me, Pastor Ken.
Oh, Pastor Ken, you take as much time as you want because I'm doing a little research right now on some phone numbers. Take some time and speak what's on your mind and give a shot. And, of course, tell our listeners how we can get a hold of your show and do your thing, brother.
Yes, for sure. Basically, what's on my mind, I don't like if you got somebody in a political office, okay, and whether they're Muslim or not, okay, and they're going to be anti-Semitic. Okay, I think that's a no-no for government politics. Okay, because you're supposed to be open-minded and be able to, okay, go for any support for any group. Okay, and if you're anti-Semitic, okay, heck, I don't know how big Minneapolis is. Okay. But I'm sure it's not that small of a city where I'm sure you have at least quite a number of Jews that live there. I'm sure they're not happy. Okay, so what are your thoughts on that, there, Joseph?
Well, the thing of it is, you just made a very interesting point. The politicians and their religious beliefs and their personal opinions should not be infringed upon us because we, the people, elect the politicians to represent our views and what's best for us. But these politicians today don't do that. And we're seeing that happen right before our very eyes, like this Congresswoman Omar. She's putting forth her Muslim agenda, okay, and she's in a district there that should be representing the people of her district, and not talking about Israel and putting her own political beliefs or Islamic beliefs, in front of the needs of the people in her district. Now, just remember something: these congresswomen and men are going on a 2-week vacation starting tomorrow morning. And so they're off in Puerto Rico. They're at their villas, their huts, and doing their own thing. And that's a shame. That's a shame. They should be working 7 days a week, answering phone calls, one-on-one, answering emails, talking to people one-on-one, and listening to the views of the people in their district. That's what they should be doing. That's what they were elected to do.
But instead they get to go on a vacation. Well, I guess everybody.
And by the way, and they don't care if they're voted out of office because guess what? They get their full paycheck for the rest of their lives, free health care, and then they get all the kickbacks that they granted everybody and the contractors and everything. Look, it's all a big game, man. It's a big game. Yeah. It's a big club, and guess what? You are not in it. We, the people, are not in it. And let me tell you something. If I decided to run for a Congress office in my district, the first thing I would do is say term limits, and number two, once you're voted out of office, no more paycheck. You go back to doing what you were doing. You go back to work for a living like the rest of the people. So therefore, you need to earn my vote to keep me in office, number one, okay? And number two, if I'm voted out of office, no more free health care, no more paycheck every single week or every month, however they get paid. And it's simple as that. They go back to working like the rest of us do, working for a living, killing ourselves working. Simple as that.
Amen.
And the third thing I would do, sir, is I would go back to the Ron Paul days, and I would sponsor a bill to audit the Federal Reserve criminal banking cartel. I want to know where their money goes. I want them audited. I want to know what the Federal Reserve does, where the money goes. I want to see all the wars they've funded throughout the history of this of America or around the globe. I want to see that. And then the second thing is, the fourth thing would be if anything is exposed that is criminal, the Federal Reserve the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 needs to be repealed and replaced with a sound monetary system. No more fractional reserve banking, no more creating money out of thin air. That means taxes really go for what is supposed to be paid for, our police, firefighters, repairing roads, building bridges. Our taxes should not be going to build gas stations and hotels in Afghanistan, okay, or Egypt, or any other country that's demonic globalist corporation that has hijacked this country since the acts of 1871 and then was enacted in the year 1913 through the Federal Reserve Act. All this is a big history lesson for people, and they really need to understand yesterday. Okay, and learn the truth of yesterday to understand today and understand the times in which we live in and why our country is so screwed up. That's what they have to do. And we need to restore our republic. Okay, and people say, oh, this guy's a whack job. He doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, I call politicians, these politicians are supposed to work for us. They don't. They don't. No. The only time in Jesus Christ's ministry where he used force was when he whipped the money changers, when he whipped them and threw them out of the temple, okay? And that's what we need to do, throw these money changers out of this country. And you go back and you do research on history. Andrew Jackson, the only president of the United States that campaigned on no bank. And Andrew Jackson, who's on your $20 bill that they make a mockery of, that's why they put him on the $20 bill because they laugh at him now. But Andrew Jackson knew about the Rothschilds. He knew about the Rothschilds, and he was the only president, and there has been no president since that has not been in debt to these central bankers. No president since. And then you argue with these stupid liberals. Well, Bill Clinton, he paid off the U.S. No, he didn't. He rectified the trade deficit with Mexico by selling all our jobs through the NAFTA agreement. People, you got to understand history. You really do. And for me to go into all this, I've done shows on this in the past where I've had people come in and try to explain the law and explain the republic and explain what it's all about. And remember, the way we can fix things is through the law and do it lawfully. Nobody wants another civil war in this country. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're heading that way. We're heading that way, brother. We're heading to a civil war. And America's going to be destroyed from within, like Abraham Lincoln said many times. Go back in history and read what these people had to say and the things that they stood for. Well, the founding fathers owned slaves. What do you got to say about that? No, the founding fathers disagreed with slavery. Okay? But let me tell you something. If they would have stood up and said at that time, let's abolish slavery, they would have been assassinated in the streets, okay, or their dirt roads, or as soon as they walked out of their farmhouse. But the founders of this country gave us a document called the Constitution. And that Constitution is the greatest document ever written other than the 1611 King James Bible. Simple as that, whether you like it or not. And you're entitled to your opinions, but your opinions are not facts, okay? You're entitled to your opinions, but don't make your opinions a fact that we should all obey and live by. We should live by the Constitution and understand the Constitution in this country. Simple as that. But God's Rainbow Ministries, give a shout-out to your show, and I want to give you some more time here to talk. I've got some more phone numbers here to call, and in Minneapolis here, I'm doing some research here.
I'm gonna let you get back
live
to calling.
on the line since my first four numbers didn't work out.
Those numbers because it's getting late. Well, anyway, if you want to get a hold of my show, you can do it easily by just getting on the Blog Talk, okay, and clicking into God's Rainbow Ministries, okay, and I hope to see everybody there Tuesday night, okay, 8 p.m. It's going to be a great show, Purpose Gospel Radio. Because we take Mondays off, we don't. That's our Sabbath day for us. So come and see our show listen to our show. Okay, at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. All righty.
That God's Rainbow Ministries right there, and I was on your show last night talking, and I appreciated the time you gave me. And imagine, folks, if we use this platform instead of calling in and saying hello for 15 minutes and making smock, arrogant remarks and tried uniting together, no matter our belief or our opinions, but talking educatedly and understanding the times in which we live in today and working for a solution in the future where we can all fix things together. Exalteth the nation that is righteous. How can the righteous live when we have our foundations are built out of sand? What are we standing on? We're standing on sand right now in America, and that's a damn shame. That really is. But we got plenty of time left, and I do have I got a private caller on the line here. God's Rainbow Ministries. Hopefully you'll stay on the line here and jump in anytime you want. But I'm going to take another private caller, and then I got some more numbers here to call in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I'll give this caller a few minutes, hopefully. And then actually I'll give the private caller, and then I've got 3 other private callers, but I'm not sure about them. And then 909 just called in. So private caller, I'm going to take you next. I'll give you a few minutes to talk, and then 909 will be after you, and then I'm going to start calling more people in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and hopefully someone will have the guts to answer my questions and not hang up on me like a coward that they are. So, private caller, go ahead.
Yo, man. What's up, Joseph Gibson? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my friend. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, the first set of amendments is... You're talking about the Constitution, but did you know the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, that's what makes us up the Bill of Rights, and James Madison wrote the amendments? Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I've read the Federalist Papers. I understand the Bill of Rights. I understand the articles of the Constitution. I can't recite them all off to you, but...
Very few people give credit to James Madison for this, man. Very few people. You know that? You know what it does? The specific provisions on governmental power response to calls from several other great states, constitutional protection for individual liberties. For example, the founders saw the ability to speak and worship freely as a natural right protected by the First Amendment. Congress is prohibited from making laws establishing religion, abridging freedom of speech. The Fourth Amendment safeguards citizens' right to be free from unreasonable government intrusion to their homes through requirement of a warrant. Were you aware of that, sir?
Yes, I'm aware of that. And that all started through
the
Act of 1871.
Did you know that the Bill of Rights was strongly influenced by the Virginia Declaration of Rights written by George Mason? Were you aware of that?
I am now. I just said I am now.
Include English documents such as the Magna Carta, the Petition of the Right, the English Bill of Rights, or the Massachusetts Body of Liberties. One of the many points of contention between Federalists who advocated a strong national government and anti-Federalists who wanted power to remain with state and local governments was the constitutional act of Bill of Rights that would place specific limits on government power. Federalists argued that the Constitution did not need a Bill of Rights because the people and the states kept any powers not given to the federal government. Anti-Federalists held that a Bill of Rights is necessary to safeguard individual liberty. But Madison, then a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, altered the Constitution text when he thought appropriate. However, several representatives led by Roger Sherman objected, saying that Congress had no authority to change the wording of the Constitution. Therefore, Madison's change were presented as a list of amendments that would allow Article 7. The House approved 17 amendments of these. Did you know that? The Senate approved 12, which were sent to the states for approval. August 1789, 10 amendments were approved or ratified, whatever you want to call it. Virginia's legislature was the final state legislature to ratify the amendments, approving them on December 15, 1791. Sure. Were you aware of that?
Do you understand Marbury versus Madison of 1803, that any law or statute that is passed that conflicts with the Constitution is hereby null and void? Are you aware of that?
Well, my favorite amendment is the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And yet you have all these people that you're calling that want to infringe on my rights, on my Second Amendment. I don't like it when you call them that.
Amen. I agree with you 100%. The Second Amendment is the most important amendment, and that's before the First Amendment. And that's what we're doing here tonight, the First Amendment.
The First Amendment. Congress should not make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for a redress or grievances. The First Amendment, is that the First Amendment we're talking about?
And that's what I'm doing on this program, sir. I'm taking my grievances to people out there. And if you were listening earlier, people told me, don't you, people, they don't even know if they voted. And that's what one caller that I called into, a local business owner in Minneapolis. They don't even know if they voted. I'm not sure. I don't know what you're talking about. Hang on, let me take a selfie. And that's the problem that we have here in America today is there's so many dumbed down, they don't understand the Constitution, which is the greatest document ever written other than the 1611 King James Version Bible. But, sir, I've got many other callers here, so finish up your point if you don't mind.
Well, here's my point about the First Amendment. Here's what I want to get across. I think it's awesome that you, with all your beliefs and a gay pastor, and you guys can call each other brothers. He is. You are against homosexuality.
Well, he's my brother in Christ, sir. He's my brother in Christ. Whether or not he's gay or not, it's not my. I cannot judge him.
Hey, it's a beautiful thing, man. Nobody's judging me, man. I'm not God. I ain't gonna judge you. Who am I to judge, man? Come on, right? That's what I'm saying. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, man. Hey, you love your homosexual brother, man. It's beautiful. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to you for loving your homosexual brother, man. Amen.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Amen.
I'll leave you on the phone line as long as you are polite, and I won't mute you. But I'm going to take another caller like I promised, 909, and then some other private callers on the line here. I'll take them. And Medelicon's still on the line. And he asked to speak here tonight, and I know he gets hated. But let's take area code 909. Go ahead. Hopefully you got something to contribute here. Unscreened, uncensored, on understanding the times in which you live in today. Go ahead, 909.
Hello, my name is Suzette. How are you? I haven't called in a while.
I'm doing good.
I wanted to, get a better understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong as far as the Federal Reserve goes. We both know that it's not a government agency. Most people know that, I think, or I hope anyway. But with that said, if the Federal Reserve were to pack up and go home, so to speak, they would be calling in all the debt. And if they did that, then we would be in a world of trouble. See, when people make loans, when they take loans, then that loan actually goes to them. They collect the money goes to the bank, and so basically. Hello?
No, you're there. I'm going to mute some other callers that are doing some background noise because you're making a very interesting question, actually, and a very good point. So let me mute the background noise. But go ahead, finish up. Go ahead.
Oh, so I was just wondering if we were to get rid of them, how that would work exactly. Because as most people think that China owns our debt, they owe trade debt, like you were saying with Mexico. But as far as our national, because we have debt, and then we have, what's the other one? I can't think of it right now.
Sorry, take your time.
Do you know what it is?
First of all, the debt is fake. The debt is fake, okay? And there's something called a force majeure. You can look it up, force majeure. All debts are null and void. And the United States Treasury Department has the authority through Congress, if they were not a corporation, if we restored the republic and restored our Constitution under the law that our founders originally intended, that warned us against the central banks taking over our monetary system. All you have to do is repeal the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, and all debts would be you would declare a force majeure. And all debt, because it's fake money. The Federal Reserve, basically what I'm trying to say is you are the debt, and they pass the, so therefore, and you're born into debt through your birth certificate. And I've been over this many times on the program. If you go to your birth certificate, you only have a copy. There's a bank routing number. I called the Federal Reserve live on this program and tried to expose that, and they told me I'll be dealt with for talking about that. Because they only deal with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, SunTrust, and other corporations. They don't deal with people like me because, like you just said, the Federal Reserve is not really federal. It's no more federal than Federal Express. So,
right. Well,
but you're absolutely right.
I've called that number too, and I didn't actually call to speak to anybody. I called the routing number to find out what was in that account with my Social Security number, and they told me the amount that was in there, but I didn't speak to anybody. There was a number that I had called and punched in my Social Security number.
Well, I'm glad you did that. Many
account.
people don't have the guts to do that, so you had the guts to do that. And years ago, you can go to Fidelity.com, and you can actually watch Target, Walmart, Amazon, all these companies trade with you on Wall Street. If you ever watch the fake corporate news, the jobs numbers are in this month. 280,000 jobs were created. Where do they get this from? What they're talking about is that's something I think I really need to explain in detail, money mechanics and the Federal Reserve Act again. So and hopefully you would listen in to that. But it's a difficult process, and a lot of people don't get it. And if you're worried about if someone like me was to be elected in my district of Congress, or like Ron Paul did, where he introduced a bill to audit the Federal Reserve, and it tried to expose the Federal Reserve back in 2012 and 2008. And JFK actually signed executive order, I believe it was 110111, where he wanted to abolish the Federal Reserve, and we know what happened to John F. Kennedy. But what I'm trying to say is your worries about what would happen, what would we do as a bartering system. The United States Treasury Department can actually create its own currency and distribute it through a gold standard, or if you look at any dollar bill from 1933 before, it says redeemable in silver. If you have an old dollar bill, I have several of them here. It says, and you take one of those dollar bills to a bank today, they'll laugh at you and they won't know what you're talking about. Because gold and silver under the Constitution is the only legal tender constitutionally that we should be bartering with. And people say, well, what am I going to do, walk around with 2 pounds of gold? That's just silly to say something like that. Because you got gold eagles, you got gold coins, silver. But your concern is – go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, if we had enough gold, in the Treasury, if we had that like we did in Fort Knox, then the Treasury could print dollar bills as far as that goes, because it's backed by, it would be backed by that gold or silver. Once again, but then
you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And that's why today we have Federal Reserve notes that's backed by nothing. It's fake. And you're talking about the national debt, which is $22 trillion, which is insane. And therefore, that's why I brought up, if you look up force majeure, and a force majeure through the World Bank would mean all debts would be null and void. And you said China owns a lot of our debt today in this country, and that's something we should examine in the future too. But they actually own a lot of our land also, and so therefore, if we were to default on the debt, you're absolutely correct. And it's a big mess. It's a big house of cards that's ready to collapse at any time. The problem is it's not going to collapse as of yet because most of the countries around the world use the U.S. dollar, the Federal Reserve notes, as their currency. But there's a lot of countries out there today that are saying, hey, this currency is backed by nothing, so all we have is America's government and their word that they're going to pay us back. So $22 trillion, if you taxed everybody at 100% today, everybody, including every millionaire, every individual, you still would not be able to pay off the debt until 100 years. So therefore, how could this be happening? And we need to restore a sound currency and get a grip of everything that's going on because the Federal Reserve controls inflation and deflation. And it's a difficult subject that you just brought up. And a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand, and a lot of people don't really care. But it's good that you care, and we need more people like you out there that called into this platform to ask questions like that and do their own research instead of,
We should also be concerned with BRIC, which is Russia, Brazil, Russia, Africa. What was the other one? I can't think of it now. Anyway, these countries had formed their own thing, and they had their own currency. Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and they are printing their own currency.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, and that's something that we need to address as individuals, in America today, and our politicians don't. And we could talk about the Acts of 1871, the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, and then we can go to the Emergency Powers Act of 1933, where they stamped the dollar bill with the Egyptian pyramid with the all-seeing eye, and underneath that, Greek words, novus ordo seclorum, pull out a $1 bill, I'm telling you the truth, and people don't know what that means. I do, and they're trying to create, the central bankers have a scheme, and it's to create a global economy and a one-world order. And and that, and we can really get into it deeply, but there's not enough time on this show to do that. But
I appreciate you taking my call.
The Creature from Jekyll Island, Edward Griffith. That's a very good documentary that explains the Federal Reserve. Let's see. If you go to YouTube and you look up the Money Masters, it explains the Federal Reserve, and actually the Money Masters documentary is about 3 hours long. They explain the Federal Reserve in fine detail, the history of the Federal Reserve, and it gives a solution at the end on how we could fix our monetary system. So that's very important.
Cool. I'll look it up. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate your call tonight. I really do. Thank you so much. Okay, 909, I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll remain listening or listen via the Internet. Thank you. And let's see here. Let's go to a couple other callers here. Well, a lot of people are hanging up. A lot of people are going away. That's fine. You can run away. Maybe Bitbanker would like to call in from Connecticut, explain the Federal Reserve a little bit clearer. But let's see. Let's get to Mendelicon here real quick here. He's been waiting for a while, and then I'll make some more calls to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and carry on with the program here. Mendelicon, hang on. There he is. He's unmuted. Go ahead, Mendelicon, if you want to address that last caller or talk about something here sensible tonight and talk about the Ethiopian Empire. That's fine, but a lot of people, the bartering system, we have to understand in America. So go ahead, Mendelicon.
Thank you so much. Confederate flag of North Carolina, Joe Gibson, standing the sign of the times in which we live under the Constitution, the Bible, and country, and Tyrone Pinocchio in South Carolina, where Bree Newsom stripped the Confederate flag. And I'm going to help you remember Fast and Furious. Whatever the fondling fathers is null and void under the Confederate flag or the red, white, and blue. And here's the reason why. It's because all of the people from the new kids on the block of the New World Order that trespassed and violated the holy lands of sovereign indigenous people, they did not enter into the equation of the sovereignty, integrity, and dignity of the people before the setting up the Ponzi scheme, the monopoly of God and country under the Constitution. And here's why it's so important. Because of the sign of the times in which we live in today. And I'm here to help you remember what you forgot or deliberately do not want to acknowledge. And I'm not responsible for what your opinions, feelings, thoughts, beliefs are. Here's what I know. If you look at today, in the European Union and those illegal alien, European invader, immigrant, minority, there is no gold in their sector. England, Germany, France, Italy, Australia, there's no coffee, there's no tea, there's no coltan, there's no rubber, there's no oil, there's no commodities. And yet, today, the World Bank, IMF, so-called Federal Reserve is going to set the standard on how people get sustenance under capitalism based on imperialism. And I know you talk about capitalism and you say socialism won't work, but we're not going to discuss that. What we are going to discuss is how could it be Tyrone Thompson, who represents the red, white, and blue, and a lot of black people will get on the aircraft carrier, Black Hawk Down, and kill sovereign indigenous people and Joe Gibson under the Confederate flag. A minority, the Confederate flag did a little bit of things to black people in the United States of America. But the red, white, and blue, on April 14th, 2019, is causing genocide that's worse than a Jewish Holocaust. And I'm only here to help you remember what you forgot. So my question for every one of us, including the woman who just got off the phone, she knows under feminism that feminism is the challenge the white men who said that white women can't be free under the Constitution. And under the Ethiopian Empire, all white women got her rights under feminism, under the Ethiopian women who was always over her man. And if you could go through the recent history, Joe Gibson, most white women was beat if they tried to vote, drink, go to school, or have sex with a black man.
Well, Mandela, that's happening today in Africa, all over the place. I mean, I don't know what you talk about in Ethiopia. Women today in Ethiopia are, if they speak out or they don't wear a headscarf, they're thrown off a freaking bridge. So I don't know what you're talking about. Here in America, they have their rights to, So
here's what you know because of Nipsey Hussle. The Eritrean nationality is under the Ethiopian Empire. The United States of America is an extension of Ethiopia.
What is the Ethiopian Empire? What is your point here as far as
the point is?
What I'm trying to ask you, explain the
I dare you or
Empire.
Tyrone Thompson. I dare you or Tyrone Thompson or any one of your Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, your cops, your prison guards, under the red, white, and blue or the Confederate flag.
You went to Ethiopia saying what you're saying right now.
This is Ethiopia. Joe Gibson, this is Ethiopia. This is Ethiopia. The United States of America is West Africa, Ethiopia.
The United States of America is Ethiopia. Explain that, please. Explain the history of Ethiopia, because according to my book, the King James 1611 Bible, Ethiopia actually belongs to the country of the state of Israel throughout history, and Egypt and parts of Egypt, Syria. So I don't understand what you're saying about
That's a
America
beautiful thing. Well, let me help you
Ethiopia.
remember what you forgot. Before the naming of the Constitution of the United States of America, before the naming of the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, I dare you, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight alike, I dare you to do your own research, and if the oceans was not the Ethiopian oceans, I will chop my own tongue, my head, like ISIS. I will never be hurt again. If you do your own homework, and I'm not going to do your homework for you, before the Constitution of Joe Gibson, before the naming of the United States of America,
but
before
we're
the
living
naming
in today, Mandela Khan. We're living in today.
I'm living in today. I'm living in today. I'm living in today.
So let me ask you a question.
Today.
How do we restore the Ethiopian Empire? Ethiopia that has no army, no navy, no air force. How do we restore the Ethiopian Empire around the globe? Let people just love and live and get out of their lives and let them eat each other to death? I mean, what are you talking about?
Nipsey Hussle, and the greatest fool ever in the history of the United States of America that was beamed across the world, is bringing in Live and Let Live and One Love about the gangland, organized crime, Crips and Bloods. For the first time in the United States of America,
all right,
Crips and Bloods are not killing each other.
Well, a man's going to kill each other. They've been doing it since the beginning of time, and if you disarm Americans
no, that's not true.
Then we'll kill each other with swords.
That's not true.
It's been happening since the beginning of time.
That's not true, Joe.
Nothing's going to change. No one's going to love everybody, and everyone's going to fight over land and Mother Earth's natural resources.
You don't want to recognize under Crips and Bloods in the United States of America to stand down, the ceasefire.
Crips and Bloods don't run anything in the United States. They're just they can make control some turf and some cities and kill each other and shoot little girls. But I don't know what you mean by that, Crips and Bloods.
Neither does organized crime under the United States of America, under the RICO statutes, under John Gotti and Carlo Gambino.
No, John Gotti's dead. He don't control anything anymore either. So I don't understand your point.
The five families of New York still control the government, only they just joined the government. The mafia is with the cardinals, the bishops, the monsignors, under the Pope, the lawyers, the attorneys,
the Pope
prison
does
guards.
control a lot around the world. I'll agree with you there. The Roman Empire will rise again, like my Bible says.
RICO,
but hang on, Mandela Khan, I'll bring you on for closing thoughts at the end here. I've got some calls here to make. I've got other callers on the line, so please respect the platform here.
Thank you so much.
All right, just respect the platform. I'll bring you back on to clarify the Ethiopian Empire. I will. Oh boy. All right, I've got so many callers now. My freaking call screen's shutting down here. Oh, let's see here. Here we go. This is Blog Talk Radio at its best here. Once you get to 250 callers live on the screen. Okay. All right, let's see here. All right, let's go to the chat room. The chat room was pretty full tonight. Let's see here. I'm going to get back to the call screen here. Okay. All right, I'm actually actually I've got so many people on the phone line here tonight that it's not. This is Blog Talk Radio at its best. You get to about 12,000 hits on your show, and then it says buffering, and it won't let people on. I think I'm going to complain to Blog Talk Radio about this. Okay, there's my screen. I refreshed it. Oh boy. All right, let's get back to, again, here, calling Minneapolis, Minnesota, for some people out there who are sending me messages here. Let's call Minneapolis, Minnesota again, and look, and this is the division that we're talking about here, this anti-Semitism, and, we're going to call these people live and ask their opinion or whatnot. And hang on here, I'm typing in the number here. All right, here we go. This business here. Hang on, just give me a second, everybody. This is live radio. You know, this is what happens when you do live. We're going to call and get a hold of somebody here tonight that may offer something here interesting without hanging up on me. Let's see here. And remember, I'm calling Minnesota, and these are businesses that are open, restaurants, whatnot. So they are open. So let's try it. Let's try another one here.
Butcher on the board. This is Ellie.
Yes, you're. How you doing tonight? Who am I speaking to?
This is Ellie.
Allie, you're in Minneapolis, Minnesota, correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm a little concerned about Minneapolis, Minnesota, because you've got. Did you vote by any chance during the midterms?
I did, yes.
Did you vote for Congresswoman Omar?
I'm not sure.
Well, you said you voted, so. By the way, yeah, I'm calling you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, on understanding the times in which you live in today. So, with all due respect, I appreciate your time. But you said you voted. Do you support Congresswoman Omar's anti-Semitic remarks that she's made? Because I think it's pretty disgusting, and I'm just trying to expose that on my radio platform by calling live businesses in Minneapolis.
Yeah, this is a restaurant.
Yeah, I know. I looked you up on the internet, and I like to hear live voices, and I appreciate your. Okay, she hung up. It's a restaurant. Yeah, I know it's a restaurant. I want a place at number 5. Whoa, you know. All right, so this is a restaurant. She hung up. Okay, that's fine. Like when you pull up to Wendy's and you say, "Can I get a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, and onions?" Well, what number do you want? You know, that's our dumbed down society today. Nobody gets it. Nobody understands. All right, we'll try another one here. This is a restaurant. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's fine. No, you're not a restaurant. Your name was Amy, I think you said. When you ask them tough questions, folks, they get a little scared, and then they hang up. That's what happens. You know, I'm just trying to find out about Minneapolis, Minnesota. Why they got a congresswoman that represents their views, that is a hateful Muslim woman that wants to destroy America. You know, that's all I'm trying to find out. So let's try another place here in Minneapolis.
Good evening. This is Red Cow North Loop. This is Juan.
Hi, Juan. How you doing? My name is Joseph Gibson.
Hi, good.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'm just wondering. All right, that's good. I just wanted to ask your opinion real quick, if you don't mind, as an individual. Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a little concerned about the congresswoman out there that's making a lot of anti-Semitic remarks that represents the views of Minneapolis. Do you have an opinion on that?
I do not. Actually, you do know this is a restaurant, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm calling business owners and businesses in Minneapolis from Blog Talk Radio, understanding the times in which you live in today. And I'm trying to get someone who has the guts to at least voice their opinion to me live on a radio platform worldwide tonight.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually just a host, so I wouldn't be a manager or a business owner. So.
Well, you're an employee there. You're an employee. I understand, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble at all or anything. I just want to know your opinion because it's your right to do so under the First Amendment. What do you think about the congresswoman that represents you, the people in your district, making disgusting anti-Semitic remarks?
I mean, I'm sorry. We're just not supposed to talk about politics at work.
Oh, I understand. I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but trust me, you do have a First Amendment right. I did call you. You didn't call me, so you can't get any trouble. But did you vote in the midterms by any chance?
I did.
Okay. Did you? And may I ask you, did you vote for Congresswoman Omar?
I'm sorry. We're really busy right now. I need to help seat people. I'm just sorry about this. If you want to talk to a manager, I can put you on hold.
Yeah. Connect me to a manager, please. Can you do that, please, sir?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. I'm going to put you on hold.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You vote for somebody and you don't stand up for them. Boy. Well, he's going to connect me to a manager. Maybe a manager can answer or give me his personal opinion. But if I was on Fox News, though, yeah, I'll come on for 15 seconds so you could twist my words around. Or CNN. I know it's uncomfortable to put people in a position, and they're not expecting my call. I know it should be scripted, and I should tell them how to answer and what to say so they look good on TV or on the radio. I know that. But that's not what I do. We need to understand the times in which we live in today. He's probably telling his manager right now, I got some guy on the radio right now. He's calling live. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what to do. That's what I think I'll do. I'll have to speak to a supervisor. Hello? Oh, I'm still on hold.
Thank you for holding. This is Drake speaking.
Yay, how you doing? You're the manager of your restaurant, sir?
Yeah, I'm part of the management team.
Oh, the management team. Okay. Well, I'm a part of a team also, and I was just wondering. I was speaking to your employee. I didn't mean to put him in a uncomfortable position, but I'm thinking about visiting your establishment. And the gentleman said he did vote in the midterms, and I'm just concerned about the Congresswoman Omar that represents your district out there. And as a manager or a small business owner, I was just wondering how you felt about the disgusting anti-Semitism that Congresswoman Omar has been perpetrating in the corporate news media. Do you have an opinion on that, sir?
No, unfortunately, I do not.
Real quick, not to take up too much of your time, I know you're busy. Did you vote in the midterms?
I'm not willing to disclose that. Thank you.
Okay, so, all right. If I was to, so what kind of restaurant do you manage, if you don't mind me asking? Let's talk business then.
I'm sorry? That's a little too vague. What are you asking exactly?
Well, what
are you interested in coming to our restaurant?
Yeah, what kind of food do you serve there, if you don't mind me asking?
We serve American fare. So our name is Red Cow. We specialize in cocktails, wine, craft beer, and burgers.
Oh, okay. All right, that's very interesting. And you are worldwide on a radio podcast show, so why don't you just tell everybody how we can visit your restaurant, or if you have a website, if you don't mind. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so our website is redcowmn.com.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, sir. I appreciate your time. I understand it's uncomfortable for me to ask you about politics, but, politics is very important, and it's important to a lot of my listeners. But we will support the Red Cow Restaurant in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. You too, sir. All right, people get a little nervous when you talk about politics. I mean, if he made a comment, he may be, in trouble by his boss or his business owner. And Red Cow there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you guys listen to it right there live. And see, people won't speak openly. They're afraid. Why should you be afraid in America? Excuse me, to voice your First Amendment God-given right? Why are you afraid? I mean, I understand he's got bills to pay. He's got to pay for that dumb phone in his pocket, and he's probably got a $500 a month car payment. And and if this got out in the corporate news media, they could rip him apart, and like they attack me out there. And they, I understand that. I get that. And the guy was very honest. So he's afraid to talk. Why are people afraid to talk? I mean, what is this, Nazi Germany? The secret police are going to come arrest you and take you and haul you away? Is this America? What happened to we the people was standing, hey, yeah, I'll tell you what I think. When you watch your flat screen TV at night at 11 o'clock and you watch your fake news, you got people getting interviewed all the time. Yeah, and their voice is edited and twisted around, and maybe that's why people are scared to talk to a live radio show host like myself. Maybe that's why. But we're live. I'm not going to twist that guy's words around. I respect his time. And I'm sure he'll log in and say, wow, I was on a radio show, and I told his employee, understanding the times in which we live in today. And, look, man, don't be afraid. Stand up for what you believe in. Fight for what you believe in. For goodness sake, what's wrong with you people out there? Don't you have a spine anymore? Don't you have legitimate questions about your government? Are you that afraid? Yeah, I voted in the midterms, but I don't want to discuss it. I can't tell you. Shame on you. I'd be happy if someone called me and said, hey, what do you think? What do you think about? Well, I do that. And then I'm attacked a lot of times. Oh, you threatened me at Gold's Gym. Oh, yeah, you go to Gold's Gym every day, and you invited me to visit you there. I feel threatened. Yeah, I get that. I understand. But I'm giving people a worldwide voice here. We got international callers on the line right now. I can't take some of their calls. I got people from Colombia, England, North Korea on the phone line right now. I can't connect you because Blog Talk won't allow me to do that unless you call directly. So I understand, but, what are you afraid of? Is this Nazi Germany? What's going on? We're not afraid to stand up for what we believe in? We got to hide behind a mask? Shame on you people. Shame on you. All right. Let's take some more callers here. Go down the line. We're running out of time here, and I did what I said I was going to do. I called businesses in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we got no answers. People are afraid to talk. But I'm sure if Tucker Carlson from Fox News said, hey, you want 30 seconds of fame on TV? Yeah. Or American Idol or whatever the damn shows are out there today. Yeah, I'll make a jerk out of myself on national TV. I can get, I'll take a selfie and post it on Facebook. Shame. What's wrong with you people out there today? Come on, man. Oh, all right, private caller, next private caller. Let's see what's going on here. What's on your mind, private caller?
Oh, what an idiot day. We got Benjamin B. Fontaine III. He's a fucking idiot. Yes, he is. He sucks dick as much as he can.
All right. Goodbye. All right, next private caller. Hang up, last private caller. Go ahead, next private caller. Go ahead.
Hi, Chief. Are you there?
Oh, Angel Lady Love. What's on your mind tonight? I'll give you 3 minutes uninterrupted. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Chief Brother Joe Gibson and all the family. I came in a little late. I'd like to know what anti-Semitic remark and the full name of this lady. Did she win the election? And then I have a response about Semitic. Please.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to expose anti-Semitism. I called Minneapolis, Minnesota, where this Congresswoman, Omar, who is all over the fake corporate news today and yesterday and the day before, she's a Muslim. Obviously, when she put her hand on the Bible, I don't know what she was swearing to, the Quran or the Bible, but I'm trying to expose her office and the people that live in her district. I called small businesses, and they're scared to talk about it. That they have no comment. So, but go ahead. Go ahead. Like I said, take a few minutes to talk.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably a bad connection because I've got about 600 callers on the line here tonight. I'm going down the call screen here.
Okay, but
so there's probably a bad connection. But go ahead.
Can you hear me? What did she say that's anti-Semitic? Let me say it like this. First of all, Semitic has to do with language. And the only two Semitic languages that I know that are brother language is Hebrew and Arabic. And they stem from Aramaic, which is the daddy language, okay, which was Abraham. The bottom line here is, I need to know, what did she say that was anti-Semitic, since maybe she speaks Arabic, and how can someone that speaks Arabic, a Semitic language, be anti-Semitic? I'm trying to understand, what did she say that was so gross, and then I'd like to respond. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. I appreciate it. I'm just reading messages in the chat room. I'm just trying to pay attention to the chat room also. I've got a bunch of people in the chat room. Hi, Mr. Gibson. Sorry, can call in. Can I get a shout-out? Jason Lee Mitchell wants a shout-out. So I did say hello to him. I did what I said I was going to do. What did she say that's so terrible? That's what I'm trying to understand. She's against. What did she say that was so terrible? Is that obviously she is against. She's trying disorder to create a new world order, and she's a Muslim. And when you're I don't know, if you're a Muslim and you believe in the Quran, how could you uphold the Constitution?
Okay,
that's an interesting question, right?
I studied 2 semesters of Arabic. Number one, there's no such thing as Muslim unless you're talking about a type of cloth or something like that, material that some people used to make their sheets with. But more emphatically, I'd have to know what she said, because Islam is the Holy Quran is predicated on the Holy Bible. And it was the Archangel Gabriel, who they called Jibril, that appeared to the Prophet Muhammad. And some are even saying the Prophet Muhammad was from the Catholic Church, like his first wife, and they gave him all those babies, was a nun. Did you know that? She taught him about bending, and she was older than he. And more emphatically, I'm thinking for people to be so adamant that he had been a pope, I think maybe he was a cardinal, because popes are, normally chosen from cardinals. But more emphatically, the correlation for the Archangel Gabriel, who is Jibril in Arabic, that is Jesus, is Isa, Yeshua HaMashiach's daddy. The Archangel Gabriel is Jesus' daddy. He came into Maryam in Luke chapter 128. And then in the Old Testament, anyone that's Judaic, if they want to go that way, the Archangel Gabriel is even in the Old Testament, not only in Daniel. I can give more details. But the fact is,
Angel Lady Love, one more minute, and I got to get to a couple other callers, please.
Okay. Well, in truth, this country, which I am indigenous, is not only Judaic, Christian, it is Islamic because of the Moors. And the Moors all around the world, I can give more details about the high-level emperors of Ethiopia, how they civilized people in Europe, and give more details about how even in Spain, I can give more details, but since I don't have that much time, but what I'm trying to tell you, the Holy Quran is predicated on the Holy Bible. So I'm not understanding, and Jesus' mom, Miriam, she has a surah, 19. This is why they even use the number 19 in blasphemy, if you will, when they purportedly claim there were 19 people that were purportedly the ones that caused the 9/11 event. That was definitely done by someone that has the master language or original language of English as their original language. And I can give more details. I did a paper on it. So I think what we need to do is possibly study the Show Thyself Approved, and looking for something and trying to, it's bad enough you have a lot of fanatical Islamists, and then all across the board of those three religions.
Well, Angel Lady Love, I want to ask you a question. The Federal Reserve criminal banking cartel. One caller brought up a very interesting subject. if we were to abolish the Federal Reserve, and what would happen? What the money changers, the Federal Reserve? What's your opinion on the Federal Reserve, real quick, before I get to another caller?
They're not a real governmental entity, and my memory serves me. I'm seeing the year 1913 and 1933. Yeah, that they're not supposed to be in charge of our money like that. And I think Congress was supposed to be. But more emphatically, yeah, I'm a financial banking. I have high-level financial banking credentials. So believe it or not, yeah, I'm against the Federal Reserves, and this is one of the things that President Kennedy, I think, was trying to abolish again. And but I'd have to do some.
You're absolutely correct. I did address that, Angel Lady Love. I did, and the Federal Reserve and the Fed, and we can all maybe agree on that. And the Fed. After all, we should have an honest bartering system here in America. And today, that's a subject maybe I'll address on the next show. The Federal Reserve Act of 1913, if people want to learn. Because, look, we all have to have some sort of bartering system, an honest bartering system. And today, the criminal Federal Reserve funds both sides of the war. Again, every individual war. And the founders of this country warned us about the Federal Reserve and central bankers. So, Angel Lady Love, I appreciate your phone call.
To make our money.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, I'm not for
but
that.
Angel Lady Love,
system.
I'll let you go here. I appreciate the phone call here on Sunday night.
Well, thank you.
Next show, like I said, you need to call me. Yeah, and you need to call me, and maybe we can do a show with you. And you can talk about the many aspects of a lot of things you understand in the history of your life and what you've been through, because you do make very interesting, especially about vaccinations in this country. That's something we need to talk about. We need to really cover that, vaccinations. That would be an interesting topic to address. So I'm going to get to another caller here, Angel Lady Love. Hopefully you'll continue to listen.
Yes.
All right, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Angel Lady Love, very knowledgeable on a lot of subjects, Angel Lady Love. Look, we don't all have to always agree on everything, but one thing we do need to agree on is about the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 and restore a sound monetary system to our country, and all the politicians would run for the hills. Next private caller, go ahead.
I think you pushed my button again.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did. I've got like 30 private callers. So, okay. Next private caller. Go ahead. You've been waiting 9 minutes, and there's another one that just tuned in too. So we'll get to you, and then Mandela Khan. I'm going to give Mandela Khan some final thoughts here because he did request to do a commercial here on this platform. So I have to keep my promise. So next private caller. Go ahead. You're unmuted.
No, I never said that at all. You're a lying cocksucker. See, there you go. You don't know.
All right, okay, all right. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. That's what you want to talk about, and you want to use filthy language on this platform and be stupid? Come on. All right, next private caller. Go ahead.
Hello.
Oh, boy. Yeah, hello.
Joey.
Yep, go ahead.
How are you, my son?
I said it many times already. I'm doing just fine. Go ahead. What's on your mind tonight?
This is a wonderful platform, and I wanted to use this platform to talk about my platform that I have had many wonderful cups of coffee made by my apprentice, Kenny. And he's good at it. He is a master brewer. And he's had...
I wonder where Ken Gunderson is tonight. I would like to hear from Ken Gunderson. Okay, sir, you use your platform and time to do that. All right. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left to the platform here tonight. So before I bring on MandelaCon, I just want to play something for everyone here, and then MandelaCon will be able to speak here. And I just want to before I bring MandelaCon on here, I just want to play something here for people. And this is the madness of our lost society.
You're watching The Madness of a Lost Society. November 26, 2010, Black Friday revealed yet further evidence of the complete madness of the populace of our lost society.
In case you didn't hear, the leaders of China and Russia.
China and Russia said that they are renouncing the dollar.
The best way to think of it is a ticking time bomb. At some stage, the dollar will fall sharply.
Now, you might be saying, Neil, what the heck does this mean to me?
As the dollar loses status as the world's reserve currency, as mystery missiles launch just off our shores, as North and South Korea take the world to the brink of war, as the TSA violates all measure of liberty and constitutional rights, and as the U.S. military itself prepares for the coming total economic collapse and breakdown of civil order, this is what Americans care about. Wanton, lustful commercialism, acting like animals fighting over trinkets made by human beings for slave wages. As you watch this horrific video, do you think any of these people own a single ounce of physical precious metal? Any gold? Any silver? Do you think that even one of them understands what the Federal Reserve is, or that the Fed is spending them into oblivion and economic slavery? Do you think even one among them has made any preparations at all for the day when there is no food on grocery store shelves? And do you think the morally bankrupt executives at Target or Walmart even care? This is what we've become. A decadent, mindless culture who, by virtue of this complete and willful ignorance, are now officially complicit in the crimes being perpetrated against us. Do you think these people who behave like animals, literally trampling each other over $198 laptops and $10 toasters, will even pause for a moment to consider their actions before they riot and burn entire cities when the days of hyperinflation finally arrive? When the grocery stores are bare? When they are truly desperate? This, my friends, is what a dumbed-down, morally bankrupt, completely broken society looks like, and this is how it behaves. No outrage over the bankers raping them. No outrage over their gutted industry. No outrage over their plundered dollar. Just blind, wanton stupidity. Just bread and circuses. The elite are social Darwinists, and they believe what they can get away with is fair game as long as we allow it. This is social engineering, and they've done it to us by design. They've turned us into animals that they can corral. We are no longer citizens in a republic safeguarded by our elected representatives. We are consumers feeding at a corporate trough managed by officials.
Will you tell the American people to whom you lent $2.2 trillion of their dollars?
Hundreds and hundreds of banks, any bank or that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
Tell us who they are.
No.
If this is America, who will stop them? Our entire system is corrupt and needs to be dismantled and begun anew. But from what base? If what happened on Friday across America is any indication of the condition of the American populace, then our very foundations are built of sand. May God forgive us for what we've become and for what we've allowed to happen to our nation. And may those of us with the courage and sense to do it renounce this behavior and the monstrous marketing ploy that is Black Friday in its entirety. This, my friends, is not us. We are the Republic. We are the informed. We are the proactive ones. And it is our job to lift up those who are lost. And saving our Republic is a full-time job. May God bless the Republic.
That's right. May God bless the Republic, and that's what we're doing, you know, and shame on those who use this platform. 289, I see your call. I'm going to get to you, but I'm going to bring back 909 here who wants to have something to say here real quick. And then MandelaCon will have the final thoughts to tonight's program, as I promised. Now, if we run out of time, we'll go into overtime for a little bit, so if you hang up, you will not be able to get back in. So 909, go ahead. You want something to add here?
Yes, I just wanted to add that your calls to Minnesota are excellent. You should continue the good work. I want to tell you that I filed a complaint with the OIG and the FBI about what's going on as far as this whole Russiagate and the actors behind that, and that I wanted investigated. Why not? I'm a citizen. Why can't I do that? So I did. Also, I had also filed another contact with, it's called Haymarket, Virginia. Right now, that town is requiring all the citizens that live there, the residents, to purchase a decal for their vehicle. If they live there, do not have a decal, then they're going to get fined for $35 for the amount. And it's a town. It's not a HOA. So I had contacted them. All these little things, putting these people on notice is important. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. You're absolutely right. And why can't you stand up? We have people that will support you. What has happened so far to all the people that have come out and stand their ground? The guy at Google, you have Glenda Owen, you have all these other people standing up, and good things happen for them because we're there for you. So I just wanted to mention that. You were right on with that. Thank you for taking my call.
You're very much welcome. Hopefully you'll follow me on Facebook and Twitter or blogtalkradio.com/Joseph Gibson. And your voice is always welcome. I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate your call. And the Federal Reserve, you're right, and the Fed. And you brought up some interesting questions earlier. You made me think. And that's what I like. I like callers like this who make me think. And that's so very important. It really is. I'll mute your line just in case you have any background noise. And I'll take one more caller, 289, and then I'm going to bring Mandela Khan on for his closing thoughts, as I promised. 289, go ahead.
Hello.
Okay, you were already on. You see, and I just played the madness of a law society, and that's what you get, the madness of a law society. Dumbed down, morally bankrupt, but we have good people out there, like the previous caller before that caller, that are interested in learning and making their voice heard on this radio internet podcast show. And for the new callers out there, we've had many guests on this program since 2014. Former Prime Minister David Kelleher was on this program. Mitch Gerber, who was on Infowars.com. Army veteran Sean Rowe, who was a guest on the O'Reilly Factor. I said, hey, you want to voice on Veterans Against ISIS? So, you know, we do a lot here on this platform. And, look, I don't ask you for no money. I don't care. And, you know, this platform is free. The chat room is free to listen into. And I'll fight for anybody and give them a voice. I'll call anybody. I proved that tonight. As I've done, I called the Federal Reserve, live on this show. I called Kamala Harris the last show. Kamala Harris's office exposed her office and her socialist platform. But as promised, Mandela Khan, you got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then I'll let you do a closing here. Go ahead.
Joe Gibson, understanding the sign of the times in which we live in today. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. Your time is clicking, so go ahead. I think another caller here, Artiveda, wants to
go
come
to
in.
the
So
other
go ahead,
caller.
make it quick, please.
I'll wait, and I'm not going to let you steer me. A change of heart, choosing a new way of life because of Aksheda Veda, not Angel Lady Love. And I'm going to help you remember what you forgot after 2 years, Joe Gibson. A change of heart, choosing a new way of life based on the representative Muslim woman that you are trying to call or get some clarity. Muslim, S-U-M-U-S-L-I-M. That's not a Muslim. That's Angel Lady Love, a Moorish woman attempted to bring to you. She's not a daughter of the matriarch. Aksheda Veda is. Now, let me help you remember what you forgot. Based on the Muslim, M-U-S-L-I-M, September 11th, 911. You're trying to get some clarity because you know I'm here like Tyrone Thompson. You know. And Tyrone got his little rascals listening. I'm here to destroy the symbol of the Confederate flag and the red, white, and blue under the sovereignty and integrity and dignity and independence. So you say you have another caller before I close it out. Take on whoever you want, Joe Gibson. But because of Aksheda Veda, and the Moorish Science Temple, which came out of Ethiopia, and Nipsey Hussle. I'm going to help everyone remember what they forgot or what they don't want to recognize. If you are a Ku Klux Klan or a Black Klux Klan under Tyrone Thompson, I'm going to help you remember, only because of the sign of the times in which we live in today. The Ethiopian Empire and its total recall is not Angel Eagle Lady
Move
Love,
this bag out her way.
a single bullet
Just move it to the
theory,
bottom of that.
a Lone Ranger. Oxida Veda.
All right, Mandela Khan, we're running out of time, so I want to bring
Oxida Veda
on
is
real
in Los
quick.
Angeles, and
We're
she's
running out
from
of time here.
Alabama. Oxida Veda is from Alabama, Mobile, the Louisiana Purchase. She's in California right now. She is the chosen daughter of the matriarch of Ethiopia.
Okay, all right, Mandela Khan. All right, okay. I gave you the time you requested. I did. Okay, Archiveda, go ahead. I see you on the phone line. I try to pay attention to the numbers here best I can. So go ahead. You want to have 2 minutes to say something before I got to wrap up the program? Go ahead.
All right. Just very quickly, hello, everyone. Joe Gibson, my friend, Mandela Khan, and all that are on the platform right now. Just as Mandela Khan has just spoken right now, I am mobile, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama. This is the Fort Matriarch LLC, boots on ground right now in California to kick off the movement of the exigency of Class Action 567. Because we as a people, we are the standing force. We are the force of power as we stand together and come together in unity. We are the women who agree to fight in this war that we're in. It's not a war of that bloodshed, but this is the bloodless revolution, the people's revolution. We are the daughters of the matriarch, and it's time for us to come together because we got to do this for our babies, our legacy. We are in the time right now, in the right season for the right reason. The time is now, and I'm asking all moms to rise. Matriarchal order of mothers. It is time for us to come together and to know who we are and to stand together so we can be strong in the exigency of Class Action 567 as we honor the name of Nipsey Hussle in the Ethiopian Empire of the matriarch. And I like your recording about economic slavery, because one thing that I have seen so much of since I've been here is the mass majority of homelessness that people are suffering today. And a lot of it is because of the Federal Reserve Bank and all their stipulations and rules that they have on people, on housing, and all the, I just met a man today who him and his wife are both working full time with a child and still homeless because they cannot afford the standards of living which have been set upon the people. There's no reason why anyone should be working class and homeless all at the same time. So, no, it doesn't matter if the elite care. We as a people must care and rise, fight against this injustice that we all face. It doesn't matter what color we are. That never was important. It is less important now today. The point of the matter is that we have been forced into this uncomfortable situation, and until we stand up and we say something about it and we rise as a people, we're going to continue to go through these same things, these same moments of discomfort. So understanding the times in which we live today, it's time for community development, where we begin to come together and develop the communities in which we want to see our children, our legacy, our progeny grow up in. And so it's up to us as a people to rise and realize the times in which we live. It's time for the exigency of Class Action 567. And we are here to honor the name of Nipsey Hussle, who was doing the work, who has set forth in motion a ceasefire among all gang members who are coming together and seeing that the unity in the community is what's going to bring us out of this thing. So that's all I want to talk about today, is the fact that who cares if the elite cares? Do you care?
Well, Artavida, if you were listening to the radio platform, I called many people live from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they're scared to care, obviously. But I got to wrap up the program. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your support. I did keep my promise to MandelaCon. Remember that, MandelaCon. But the next show, follow me on blogtalkradio.com/Joseph Gibson. You can follow me on Facebook. Just Google my name, Understanding the Times in Which We Live in Today. You'll see my name, and there's a lot to talk about. We run out of time, as always, but time is very important. And you know what? If you gave your time to my platform tonight, I appreciate that. And that's what's so important, because there's one thing you can never get back. That's the time we have here on this earth today. And waking people up is the most important thing. It's an information war. And it's a war for your mind. So thank you so much. I got to end the program, and thank you to the new callers that called in, and thank you for all the other callers. I appreciate it. God bless. Take care. Be safe out there. I'm under a tornado watch here in Greensboro, North Carolina, by the way, so hopefully everything will be okay. But anyway, it's a sign of the times in which we live in. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless. Take care. Love your calls.